My first memory of encountering racism was when I was playing. I was probably about 7 or 8, maybe even 6. And I was playing with my friends. We'd gone camping with a group of people, a group of my friends and a group of strangers. And we were playing it. And this one woman aggressively grabbed me and pulled me aside. And she said to me, "What are you doing?" And I can't remember her exact words, but she lay into me. And I remember telling my mum that this woman had done this to me, and my mum asked me whether she had done this to anyone else, whether she had pulled anyone else aside or whether she had been watching. And it was my mum actually going up to her and saying, "You've singled out my child, why have you done this?" And that was probably my very first experience. But off the back of that, there is a second experience, which is in education, where we had banded tables. Our tables basically were grouped and clustered in order of ability, and we weren't supposed to know this, but actually if you look at the tables that we had in primary school, this was year 4, the yellow table had lots of black and brown children, then the blue table had lots of black and brown children, the red table had lots of black and brown children, and you could actually also dissect it looking at ethnicity and religion as well, and you could see that this teacher had prejudices when assigning groups to certain tables. But then when it came to the top 2 tables, the red table had only white children on it. And I remember my mum saying, again, I went home and she asked me what I'd received in a test, and I told her. She asked me what my peers had received, and she said, "That's very interesting that you're on that table. I was on the second table, but I'd received higher marks than everybody on the other table across multiple subjects." And so she again went and spoke to that teacher and said, "How have you decided to categorise students this way? And also it's very obvious to 8-year-olds that you're doing it like this." So that was my second educational experience really of racism. Yeah.
What do you wish people who are, racist, prejudiced, biased, what do you wish they better understood about what they're doing?
When I think about people who are racist or prejudiced or have biases, the first thing that always comes to mind is that there is no biological basis for this belief system. There really isn't a foundation for this belief system. We are so mixed up, and the racial hierarchies that we see today are political. They're for violent reasons, they're built on violent paths, and actually a lot of people who believe this, it doesn't serve them to keep believing this. You miss out on so much. You miss out on so much knowledge, culture, food. You miss out on love, you miss out on good people. And the fact that people don't see that loss makes me so sad, makes me really, really sad. Growing up in such a multicultural community, I know exactly what I've gained from being around different people. But what else I wish they knew is how violent these beliefs are, and how dangerous they are, and how really looking at the history of having and holding these beliefs, they don't serve our society. It's so inherently violent, and it's so unfair. It's so deeply unfair, and I think, it just causes too much harm. It causes so much harm. So what I would like people to know is to realise that whilst it might be, they might think they're holding a small belief, but actually believing that someone is less intelligent than them, which polls have come out to say the significant amount of the British population do believe, is so dangerous, because when you don't hire people for certain jobs or you believe that someone is less able to do a certain role, you lose out on someone who might have done that role so amazingly. And it could be any role, it could be a creative role, and you've lost a beautiful piece of art, or you've lost a beautiful advert, beautiful promotion, or it could be engineering, or it could be designing something, a building, something, things that make our society better. We lose out on that because we have certain beliefs about people, and whilst, again, we think they're small, they crescendo and they accumulate. And when people have those belief systems together, we lose out. I think that fundamentally for me, that's the saddest part. We lose out, we all lose out.
you.